Roman Reigns just made a move that has the entire WWE Universe shaking. The tribal chief has officially added Nia Jax to the Bloodline, and her first target. None other than the man herself, Becky Lynch. This is about to change everything. What's up, Wrestling Region fam? Before we dive into today's explosive news, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss our coverage of the biggest moments in professional wrestling. I'm going to break down exactly why this is one of the most strategic moves we've seen in recent WWE history. Let's get into it. The WWE Universe has witnessed countless evolutions of the Bloodline, but what happened recently has taken things to an entirely different level. Roman Reigns, the undisputed tribal chief and one of the most dominant champions in WWE history, has made a calculated decision that nobody saw coming. He's brought Nia Jax, the Irresistible Force, into the most powerful faction in professional wrestling. Now, if you've been following WWE programming, you know that the Bloodline has been the centerpiece of WWE storytelling for years. We've seen members come and go, from Jey Uso's rebellion to Solo Sikoa's rise, but adding a dominant female competitor to the mix. That's unprecedented. This isn't just about adding another member. This is about strategy, power, and sending a very clear message to the women's division. Nia Jax brings something unique to the Bloodline. She's not just any competitor. She's a former Raw Women's Champion, a Royal Rumble winner, and someone who has consistently proven she can dominate anyone who steps in her path. Her addition signals that Roman Reigns is thinking beyond just the men's division. He's looking at total dominance across all of WWE. Let's talk about why this move is absolutely brilliant from a strategic standpoint. First and foremost, Nia Jax has legitimate bloodline connections. She's a member of the legendary Anoa'i family, which makes this feel authentic rather than forced. This isn't some random alliance, this is family business, and family is everything to the Bloodline. Second, Nia Jax's physical presence and wrestling style perfectly complement the Bloodline's mentality. Roman Reigns has built his empire on power, dominance, and an unwillingness to back down from anyone. Nia Jax embodies those exact same qualities in the women's division. She's someone who can walk into any arena and immediately establish herself as the most physically imposing competitor in the women's locker room. Think about the tactical advantages this brings. The Bloodline now has representation in both divisions. They can coordinate attacks, create distractions, and essentially run both rosters if they want to. This isn't just about individual matches anymore. This is about total control of WWE programming. Furthermore, Nia Jax has experience working with top talent and performing in high-pressure situations. She's wrestled at multiple WrestleManias, been in championship matches, and has the confidence that comes with being in the main event scene. Roman Reigns doesn't bring in people who can't handle the pressure, and Nia Jax has proven time and time again that she thrives under the brightest lights. Now let's address the elephant in the room, Becky Lynch. The man has been one of WWE's most popular and successful superstars for years. She's a multiple-time champion, a WrestleMania main eventer, and someone who has consistently stood up to anyone who's tried to take her spot. So why is she the first target? This is psychological warfare at its finest. Roman Reigns knows that if you want to make a statement in the women's division, you go after the biggest name. Becky Lynch represents everything that stands against the Bloodline's philosophy. She's rebellious, she's an underdog who became a champion, and she's never been one to bow down to authority or power. By targeting Becky Lynch first, the Bloodline is essentially saying that nobody is safe. If they're willing to go after the man, then everyone else in the women's division should be looking over their shoulders. This creates immediate tension and storyline possibilities that could play out for months. From Becky's perspective, this has to be both frustrating and motivating. She's faced plenty of powerful opponents before, but facing someone with the Bloodline's backing is different. Nia Jax won't just be fighting Becky one-on-one. She'll have the entire faction behind her, ready to interfere, distract, or outright attack if necessary. The history between Becky Lynch and Nia Jax also adds layers to this confrontation. These two have faced each other before, and their matches have always been physical, hard-hitting affairs. There's real intensity when these two competitors share the ring, and now that intensity is amplified by the Bloodline's involvement. The ripple effects of this move extend far beyond just Becky Lynch. The entire women's division now has to recalibrate how they approach their careers in WWE. With the Bloodline now active in women's storylines, every female superstar needs to consider whether they're going to align with, against, or try to stay neutral regarding the most powerful faction in the company. We could see potential alliances forming to counter the Bloodline's power. Imagine Becky Lynch teaming up with other top women's division stars to create a resistance against this new threat. Names like Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, or even returning legends could be called upon to help balance the scales. Championship implications are huge here too. If Nia Jax captures a women's championship with the Bloodline's support, that title essentially becomes Bloodline property. We've seen how Roman Reigns elevated the Universal Championship and later the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. The same could happen with whichever women's title Nia Jax pursues. The creative possibilities are endless. We could see mixed tag team matches featuring Bloodline members. We could see coordinated attacks where men's and women's division members work together. The traditional separation between divisions could blur in fascinating ways. This also opens doors for other women in the Bloodline's extended family to potentially get called up or featured. Tamina, another family member, could return to support Nia Jax. WWE's women's roster is filled with incredible talent, and this storyline could elevate multiple performers at once. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture of what Roman Reigns is building here. The tribal chief has always been about legacy, family, and establishing dominance that transcends individual championships. By expanding the Bloodline into the women's division, he's creating something that could potentially control WWE for years to come. Roman Reigns has shown himself to be one of the most intelligent strategists in WWE history. Every move he makes is calculated, from who he recruits to who he targets. Adding Nia Jax isn't just about having another powerful member. It's about creating an empire that touches every aspect of WWE programming. Consider the merchandising opportunities, the cross-promotional possibilities, and the sheer amount of screen time the Bloodline could command with representatives in multiple divisions. From a business standpoint, this is brilliant. The Bloodline is one of WWE's hottest properties, and expanding it only increases its value. There's also the aspect of Roman Reigns as a leader. He's not just a wrestler, he's positioned as someone who makes decisions for his family's benefit. By bringing Nia Jax into the fold and giving her a high-profile target like Becky Lynch, he's demonstrating that he takes care of his family members and sets them up for success. We've seen throughout Roman's reign as tribal chief that loyalty is rewarded and disloyalty is punished. Nia Jax entering the Bloodline with such a significant assignment shows the level of trust and importance Roman places on her. This isn't a minor role, this is a starring position in WWE's most important faction. So where does this all lead? Let's talk about some realistic scenarios and predictions for how this storyline could unfold. If Nia Jax successfully defeats Becky Lynch, it immediately establishes her as the most dangerous woman in WWE. This would likely lead to a championship opportunity and could result in the Bloodline holding both men's and women's titles simultaneously. The power dynamic in WWE would shift dramatically. Becky could refuse to go down without a fight and recruit her own team to combat the Bloodline. This could lead to War Games matches, Survivor Series teams, or other multi-person confrontations that would be absolutely epic to watch. WWE loves storytelling that involves internal faction drama. Could Nia Jax's addition create tension with other Bloodline members? Could there be disagreements about strategy or spotlight? This type of storytelling has proven successful in the past. The Anoa'i family tree is extensive and includes numerous WWE legends and current performers. Could we see others get called in to either support or oppose this new Bloodline configuration? The possibilities for dream matches and storylines are incredible. What seems certain is that this storyline will dominate WWE programming for the foreseeable future. The combination of star power, family dynamics, and high-stakes competition makes this must-see television. Wrestling Region fam, we are witnessing something special here. The addition of Nia Jax to the Bloodline and her targeting of Becky Lynch represents the kind of bold, innovative storytelling that makes professional wrestling so compelling. This isn't just two wrestlers having a match. This is about power, family, legacy, and the future direction of WWE. Roman Reigns continues to prove why he's called the Tribal Chief. His ability to evolve, adapt, and make strategic decisions that keep the bloodline relevant and dominant is remarkable. By bringing Nia Jax into the faction, he's not just adding muscle, he's making a statement that the bloodline's reach extends everywhere. For Becky Lynch, this represents one of the biggest challenges of her career. Fighting against the bloodline isn't like facing a normal opponent. It's facing an entire system, an entire family, and the most powerful force in WWE. But if anyone can rise to that challenge, it's the man. As for Nia Jax, this is her opportunity to cement her legacy as one of the most dominant women in WWE history. With the bloodline behind her and clear targets in front of her, she has everything she needs to reach the absolute peak of the women's division. What do you think, Wrestling Region fam? Is this the right move for the bloodline? Can Becky Lynch overcome this new threat? Who else might get involved in this storyline? Drop your predictions and reactions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to Wrestling Region 200 if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our coverage of the biggest stories in professional wrestling. Share this video with your fellow WWE fans because this conversation is just getting started. I'm your host, and I'll catch you in the next video where we'll continue following this incredible storyline. Until then, keep watching, keep wrestling, and acknowledge your tribal chief. Peace.